Hello Mytho Oddities, welcome to a new video. Today we are doing another episode of Adaptation Arena, this time covering the main villain of at least the first Mortal Kombat game, Shang Tsung. We'll be comparing the three different live-action adaptations with Mortal Kombat 1995, Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 2, not Season 1 because he's barely in that, and Mortal Kombat 2021. Before we get started, remember, if you end up enjoying this video, then definitely make sure to check out my future content. Easiest way to do that is by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. Also, it'd be really nice if you gave this video a like and comment down below which version of Shang Tsung is your favorite. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. The 1995 version of Shang Tsung wears a long black leather trench coat, which looks really cool. It has like these dragon markings all over it, and he wears that for most of the movie up until the final battle where he takes it off and he just basically wears a black vest, which is pretty boring, but it's a little more accurate to what he wore in MK2 and MK3, just a lot less colorful because it's black. Also in this final scene, he changes his hairstyle from just being down into a ponytail, which is more accurate to what he wears in Mortal Kombat 3, and also sometimes throughout the rest of the series. As for Mortal Kombat Legacy, he wears this absolutely awesome golden and brown snakeskin sort of robe, and it looks perfect, honestly. It might be my favorite out of the three when it comes to pure design. But is it accurate? Not really. The only time Shang Tsung wears a robe, it's always either red or blue or purple or one of those colors, never really yellow or gold. And when he does wear yellow or gold as like the main color, it's always sort of a vest type of look or just his pants, so like in MK2 and 3 or Mortal Kombat 11. But the big thing that really tanks this design from winning the section, I mean, he's bald. And Shang Tsung just isn't. Now on to 2021. Say what you will about the movie. Some people don't like this version of the character. Some people don't even like this design, which I think those people are crazy. But there is absolutely no denying that this is the most accurate out of the three. Like, that is an objective fact, at least in my opinion. Objective fact in my opinion. That's a contradiction, but you guys know what I mean. There's only two aspects of this design that just straight up aren't accurate at all, and it's the eyes, because for some reason when he gets angry, his eyes turn black, which is weird. But then the second thing is something that should definitely be implemented into the future games, and it's the soul armor things with the souls of his victims on the armor, and it glows. It's like Freddy Krueger's stomach. It's cool. Other than that, it's a sort of traditional ancient Chinese armor, which I think really fits Shang Tsung. Could it be more colorful? Yeah, but like, this is the first movie. They could do other stuff in the sequels. For the first movie, I think this is good, especially since they were really trying to show the contrast between the Outworlders, who are all wearing super dark colors, and the Earthrealmers, who are wearing less dark colors, or a bit more colorful. The hair also is pretty cool. I mean, it's not bald, first of all, so that's a plus, but it's sort of a traditional Chinese style, and I think that fits really well as opposed to 1995, which is just kind of like normal, like nothing special about it. So yeah, I'm gonna confidently and pretty easily give this win to 2021, but let's see how it stacks up for the future sections. For 1995, while his abilities aren't too pretty to look at, they're definitely accurate. I mean, he steals souls and he morphs into people. That's pretty much Shang Tsung's whole thing. And yes, there are the fireballs, the skulls, but none of the versions of the character we'll be talking about today have that, so it doesn't really matter. Now yes, the visuals of these powers are very inconsistent. For the morphing, at first he like gets consumed by this orange reddish energy and then transforms into the person he wants to transform into, but then later on in the movie he like actually morphs into the person. Like, you can see everything, like his face and his body just transforming, which is more accurate to how it is in the games than the first version. And then also for the soul stealing, at first it goes into his hand, which makes sense, that's how it is most of the time, but then later on when Art Lean is defeated by Goro, everyone's favorite Mortal Kombat character, it goes straight into his eye. So yeah, that's weird, but you know what, maybe they were just wanting to try new things, whatever, doesn't matter. And as for Legacy, he doesn't do anything. Moving on, I guess. For 2021, he can, in fact, steal souls, or should I say, suck souls.
He's about to get his soul sucked.
And the way it all works, and especially the visuals, are just way more accurate to the games than how 1995's soul sucking was. But the big problem with 2021 is that he doesn't do any morphing. He doesn't transform into anyone, which is one of Shang Tsung's big things. At least, he doesn't do it in the actual movie. There is a deleted scene where he transforms into Sonya and fights Cole Young. But it doesn't count because it was removed. The editors of 2021 they need to be fired and never work on another movie again. And if that scene was included, 2021 would probably win, but that scene was not included, so 1995 gets the victory of this section. Now we're on to the sections that really matter. Here we have casting. Now, I want to remind people that this is purely about how the actor fits the role, not their actual performance itself. Just before we get into anything. This is purely about externals and things about the actors that fit the character, not about whether or not their actual performance and how they played the character was good or not. For 1995, Shang Tsung was played by cary-hiroyuki Tagawa, who is a Japanese-American actor, which is not very accurate to the actual source material, where Shang Tsung is Chinese. He does, however, have some martial arts experience, which is very important when playing a character like Shang Tsung, who fights people generally. And that definitely probably helped in the production of the first Mortal Kombat movie in 1995, especially since his co-star, Robin Chu, also had martial arts experience, so the fight scene probably wasn't that hard to choreograph. Tagawa would have been either 43 or 44 during the time of filming, which is probably pretty accurate to how Shang Tsung's age is in Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, which seems to be the main inspiration for this version of the character, so I think it's pretty okay. Of course, if we were talking about Mortal Kombat 1 Shang Tsung, this would not be accurate at all because he is very, very old, but we're just talking about Shang Tsung in the games in general, and most of the time he is pretty young looking, so I'll give it that. Now on to Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 2, where Shang Tsung is played by cary-hiroyuki Tagawa. Again, the only thing that changes here is that he would now be around 60 at the time of filming, which is probably a bit more accurate to a Mortal Kombat 1 Shang Tsung. But yeah, that's it. Moving on. Now on to 2021, where Shang Tsung is played by Chin Han. Different actor. Great. Chin Han is Singaporean, which is a bit more accurate to the character's Chinese descent than the Japanese Cary Tagawa, so it's a bit of a step up, but not like anything too major. He does have some martial arts experience, especially with his TV show Marco Polo, where he plays like a villain or something, and there's a few fight scenes, but that's pretty much it. It's not as much as Cary Tagawa, who's like professionally a martial artist. I don't even know if Chin Han is professionally known as a martial artist. Maybe he just did it for the role. I'm not too sure. And finally, he would have been around 50 at the time of filming, but COVID stuff probably changes it, makes it go up and down. He would have been various ages, probably. This is going to be hard to choose from because, first of all, the first two are literally the same person being cast, so there's that, but also there's the fact that Cary Tagawa is Japanese, but also the other aspects that make him fit the role are a lot stronger than Chin Han, who, yes, is a bit closer to his actual ethnicity than Cary Tagawa, but those other things aren't as highly rated, so I'm struggling to pick between them. But you know, Shang Tsung is not one of the characters whose ethnicity particularly is too important to the character, especially since originally he was supposed to be sort of a demon sorcerer that wasn't even like from Earth at all. That was a retcon that happened later on in the series, so I do think I'm going to give it to Cary Tagawa, but it's a choice between Legacy and 1995, played by the same actor. Who do I pick? You know what? This is technically, both of these are technically supposed to be Mortal Kombat 1 storylines. Legacy is weird. Okay, it's not even trying to adapt Mortal Kombat 1 really, but the point is that they're both trying to sort of do the same thing when it comes to the first tournament in a long time, and you get what I'm trying to say. Legacy gets the point. All right, I guess I had to give it some sort of love in this video because usually it doesn't. So we're 3 sections in and every adaptation has 1 point. So there's 2 different things that can happen next. One is that 2 different adaptations get the points, so we just chuck the last one and have a tiebreaker between those 2, or one adaptation gets both the next points and they win. So let's see what happens. 1995's personality is a conniving, slimy sorcerer. He's very over the top. He has that raspy voice. He's like, "Your soul is mine." He has the expressive eyes and the eyebrows too. Those really make for a great performance. And he can either be slow, kind of calm, conniving, calculating, or it can be super over the top. "Your soul is mine. Never." That was a bit cringe, but you know what I mean. Very hammy, very campy performance, but it's also, in a weird way, pretty intimidating and creepy at the same time. There's a reason this is not only probably the most iconic performance of the movie, but also generally accepted to be the best one. Despite the fact that other actors probably had a better performance in terms of just pure acting and being realistic, he just had the most entertaining performance out of all of them, and so, yeah, I have to agree. He had the best one. When it comes to Legacy, of course, he's played by the same actors, so there is going to be a lot of similarities, but it is trying to fit the tone of Legacy, which definitely isn't hamming it up. It's not as campy, so it's kind of more calm, it's more laid back than 1995. But you know what? It's still a good performance. Shang Tsung from the series might be the best character in the whole thing, which isn't saying a lot because it's Legacy, but still. But I don't think we've seen enough of this version of the character to really get a grasp of his personality, because he's just not in enough scenarios, I guess. Like, there isn't a scenario where he's facing off against some character, like a Liu Kang type of character. But Legacy Liu Kang sucks, so not that version of the character. Someone else, like, I don't know, Legacy Kung Lao. He's alright, I guess. Imagine he was facing off against him, like, that kind of personality shift between just him, like, sitting at a table talking to someone, which is most of his performance in this show, as opposed to him about to fight someone. Like, that's a big difference, and we don't see enough of that. Now, for 2021, just an amazing performance, honestly. He has that big, booming voice that I love a lot. He's very intimidating. He's scary when he's going up to people and questioning them and questioning his authority. He's definitely the most realistically creepy of the 3 characters we have here, and I just love that. I love this version of him, and he definitely gets the win. That is, if any of the scenes, including that version of the character, were actually in the movie. 1995 gets the point. Gosh. So we're on to the last section, and 1995 is in the lead. Let's see if it can go on to win the entire adaptation arena, or if we're going to see a tiebreaker. The 1995 version of Shang Tsung is pretty accurate to the games. I'm not going to take into account Conquest, even though that's technically a part of this universe, just because I want to keep it to strictly 1995, so we don't really learn much about his actual backstory in this story, but within the story itself, his actual role in it and the events that transpire, he is very, very accurate to how he is in the games. He's the host of the Mortal Kombat tournament. He's a conniving, slimy sorcerer who tries to sneak behind the scenes of the whole tournament to try and throw off the Earthrealmers, but that obviously doesn't work, and Liu Kang defeats him. But that whole part where Liu Kang defeats him to win the tournament, that's not entirely accurate, because technically it's Goro you have to defeat, and Shang Tsung you just fight afterwards, because why not? But other than that, pretty one-to-one. As for Legacy, I mean, his whole role in the story is that he's sort of the host of the Mortal Kombat tournament. I think it happens on his island. I'm not really too sure. I don't remember. But he's the host of the Mortal Kombat tournament, and he also recruits Liu Kang to the Outworld side. That's pretty much his role in the story, and not very accurate. Why Legacy? Why? And lastly, we have 2021, and this version of the character sends out his Outworld minions to try and kill the Earthrealm warriors before the tournament, so that there is no tournament, which isn't illegal, apparently. I don't know, he just says that the Elder Gods won't do anything about it, and we're just supposed to take that, I guess. Awesome. And then he also kills Kung Lao before the tournament, which obviously isn't that accurate to the actual story because Kung Lao's in Mortal Kombat 2. And if he dies before even the first Mortal Kombat tournament, then it wouldn't make sense for him to still be alive during Mortal Kombat 2. But, you know, changes to the story. It's fine. 2021, doing his own thing. That's fine. I'm excited for the sequel. Hopefully we see more Shang Tsung, and hopefully he's actually like the main villain and not Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is cool in 2021. I'm going off on a tangent, but I don't care. Sub-Zero was cool in 2021. I liked him as the main villain. I think he fits because that story was trying to set up Scorpion and Cole, but we don't talk about Cole. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, they're who matter, and you know, that movie did a fine enough job at what it was trying to do. And now we're at Mortal Kombat 2, the tournament, where hopefully they focus on the other characters that matter. That's what's going to happen. Great. Awesome. Yeah, the point pretty easily goes to 1995, and that makes that version of the character the winner of this adaptation arena. Hooray. So that means 2021 has 3 characters who have been the most accurate, and then 1995 has had 2 characters who have been the most accurate, and Legacy, 0. Makes sense. I guess we'll have to wait to see the day that Legacy gets a character that's most accurate. Maybe, perhaps, one day. But today is not that day. 1995 has won this adaptation arena. Let me know what you guys think. What are your differing opinions to mine throughout this video? So definitely comment those down below. Also make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Also remember to like the video. And with that being said, that's it for this video, my fellow Waddities. I'll see you next time.